Or like Bunchy said back in the studio, maybe stand off and let the counter puncher lead first. So you never know. They'll obviously have a game plan. Good luck to him. It's his big chance for the WBA Heavyweight title.
I suspect that the plan is going to be to get on him and force the pace. Talking to various people in the run-up to this, they were saying, you know, you can't afford this fella to settle into a rhythm. You can't afford to let him just dictate the course of the fight. You've got to make it your fight. And when they stand toe-to-toe, nose-to-nose here, toe-to-toe, you see that Skelton clearly the taller and the heavier man. Is he now going to be the fitter man, and can he be a good enough fighter and a good enough boxer to meet a man who was an outstanding amateur, once beat the great Cuban Felix Savon, as we've been hearing, back in 1997, and also went on to win the World Championship in 2001 in Belfast. Now the action underway. It's a 12-rounder. The WBA crown is at stake, and who is going to be the first to impose their will on this contest? That's good from Skelton. Not too much clean leather getting through there, but he's straight away shown that he wants to be first and wants to impose himself. Yeah, that's good from Skelton, taking the fight to him, Chagaev, and certainly that will favour Skelton in an inside contest like this at short range. Yeah, he would want that, definitely. The one thing you can say about Skelton, I hear the arguments about how he's got no amateur pedigree, how he's late into the sport. He freely admits, I will never be Muhammad Ali, but I know how to win a fight. And he is one hard man. He's got a terrific chin and he's strong. Well, Chagaev not doing a great deal in close there. Referee Guillermo Perez from Panama. British fans making themselves heard.
That was better from Skelton then, John, just leading off with that right hand. If you can double that up with the left hook as well, that's the way to go.
Skelton's family sitting and friends sitting just behind us, and they're almost in there in the ring, and there you see Skelton. This is where he's at his best, where he's trying to really bully the man around and trying to mug him. This is Skelton's fight, and he's getting away with holding his man around the back of the head. The referee ought to be on top of that one, but he's not. He's here from the corner, Kevin Sanders and Dean Powell shouting, come on, be first with that jab, Matt, be first with the jab. 4,500 people in this arena, and a typically German crowd. Not a huge amount of noise. When you see something good, you get more respectful applause than anything else.
Well, all night long the crowd have been very quiet. I mean, that's better from Skelton. That's a good right-hand reply there. And again,
he's having a good opening round here, Richie.
Yeah, he's doing well. He's catching Chagaev with that right hand.
The right hand of Skelton almost getting through there. And I think he's had a decent opener. He's at least matched Chagaev, and he's probably landed the more telling punches here. Few clean counter punches there from Chagaev, getting the attention of the crowd, but a good round for Skelton.
Mitsubishi Motors sponsors boxing on Setanta Sports.
My name's Dewey Cox.
From the guy who brought you Superbad.
You can take the children, but you leave me, my monkey.
Walk hard. Mitsubishi Motors sponsors boxing on Setanta Sports.
So a good start for Matt Skelton. I think for me, taking that opening round on pressure of work, he landed the more punches. Chagaev landed 1 or 2 clean counters in the closing seconds of the round, but Skelton for the most part force the pace. Good right hand from Skelton. And there, look at him, trying to bully Chagaev back.
Okay, stop.
Good attack from Skelton there, and he showed quick feet as well. Closed the gap down quickly, good right hand again. That caught Chagaev, that was a good shot.
Okay.
Matt Skelton said Chagaev always comes to fight, and that'll suit me. Skelton, his first professional fight, only in 2002. And he reduced one Gifford Shillingford to rubble, as memory serves me. Eugene Maloney, brother of Frank, was his manager in those days, before the contract was snapped up by Frank Warren's organisation. Chagaev at last finding the range with the jab, but it's got a slightly tentative sort of look at it. And let's not forget as well that Chagaev has had health problems of his own.
Oh, that was a great attack there from Skelton. Double up the jab and then a right hand coming through.
Had to pull out of a fight last year because of suffering from hepatitis, Chagaev, so how well he's recovered remains to be seen. Now Perez on Skelton's case, just getting him to tidy up the work. You obviously don't need me to tell you that there can be interesting judging verdicts, to say the least, over here in Germany. Sometimes it seems you almost have to nail a man to the canvas to get a majority points decision. But Skelton's doing well.
I certainly remember Robin Reed boxing Sven Ocker, if you remember, a couple of years back, and he seemed to be warned by the referee for hitting Ocker at one stage. It was awful.
That was that Belgian ref, wasn't it? Mercifully not here tonight.
What a great moustache, that's about all that referee had. But this is Skelton's fight at the moment, John. He's doing the right thing here. He's actually waiting for Chagaev to come in, and then he's catching him on the inside.
That's better from Chagaev. But it's the old thing, isn't it? You know, the counter punches, which is basically what Chagaev did. If you can make him lead, sometimes you make him look a fool. Remember Nazim Hamed and Marco Antonio Barrera. Barrera, supposedly the aggressor, played the counter puncher, and we all know what history reveals.
Well, I think you've always got to weigh up what the opposition are thinking, and they obviously expected Matt to come flying out, and he's decided just to stay on the back foot a little bit, and that's confused Chagaev.
Close around.
Mitsubishi Motors sponsors boxing on Setanta Sports.
Matthew Perry, Bradley Whitford.
Sorry about that. That one was all me.
Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip, out Monday.
Mitsubishi Motors sponsors boxing on Setanta Sports.
Just watching some of the action from that second round. Well, Skelton, for me, he's won the first two, Richie. I don't know if you'd agree.
I thought Chagaev just did enough maybe to nick the second round, to be quite honest, John.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, in that case, you've got it level. I've got it Skelton by a couple. While we were away with the advertising break, Skelton being told by Kevin Sanders, his trainer, you've got to work off the jab. He said you're jabbing well and you're boxing well, but you've got to be first. You've got to impose yourself and work off that left-hand lead. But he did tell him that he was boxing beautifully.
Well, that was nice from Skelton there. Left up to the body and then a right up to the head. Right cross rather, good shot.
Look at the determination, Richie. How much does this lad want it? And Chagaev, for all his reputation of being a top-class boxer, look at that, beats to the jab.
I think Skelton's got to do what Sanders says as well. Double the jab, double jab right hand. That's the best combination that he's been throwing, Skelton. It's been catching. There it is. Not too far away with that right hand there.
Chagaev in this very arena beat John Ruiz and eliminated for this title, and then went on to seize it from Nikolai Valoev, the giant Russian, last year. There were people who were there on that occasion who thought that Valoev was a little bit unlucky not to take that one. I remember reading a report in the Times about that, and the reporter Ron Lewis thought that Valoev had won the fight. Chagaev there doing nothing, just pawing with that left-hand lead.
I think he's a bit confused. He's expecting Matt Skelton to come forward like a bull, but he's not doing that. He's waiting, and you know, he sees the opportunities now and again when he gets in close. Then Skelton's working away. I think he's having it his way on the inside.
Had the look of a long fight, this one, always, because Skelton's got that great shot. Good shot from Chagaev. Skelton takes it well though. He landed pretty flush with a solid left hand. Skelton though shows that great chin, and the fight here is warming up. People who said it was going to be a stinker, they are being shown to be wrong. Skelton again being told off for holding his man down, and a few whistles of derision from the crowd. We were hearing some stories before the fight about just some of the fitness work that Skelton's been going through. 15 rounds or so on the famous body bag as employed by Billy Graham and Ricky Hatton, and they were saying that he goes through that and he can live with that. And look at this, flurries of punches from both men in the closing seconds of the round. This is when judges' opinion can be swayed, and another close round, and Skelton again doing well. Richie, how did he score that one?
I thought Skelton might have just nicked it, John, to be quite honest. Whether the judges will see it that way, I'm not too sure, but yeah, towards the end there, I think the last 30-40 seconds, it was good for Skelton. It's always good to end the round strong. That's the last thing in the judge's mind, so for me, Skelton just nicked it.
Ruslan Chagaev is finding that life in this fight, the supposed 8-1 on shot, is a little bit more taxing than he might have imagined it was going to be. That was a good attack, but then back came Skelton. He did have to take one big left hand, Skelton, but there's a lot of close work, a lot of bumping and boring, tests of strength. That was when the referee said he was holding him down. We go now to the fourth round, WBA Heavyweight title fight here in Duesseldorf. 12 3-minute rounds, and Bedford's Matt Skelton at the ripe old age of 39, he says it's his 40th birthday in 8 days' time. He is doing himself proud right now.
Got to keep popping that jab out, John, and sending that straight right hand down the middle. If he waits, he's got to be throwing something. He can't wait and do nothing, because that's when Chagaev will pick him off.
Okay, stop. Break.
I remember all those years ago, back in 2002, and Eugene Maloney said to me, he said, come and look at this fella. He can really punch and he can fight. Okay, he was talking him up as he had to do as his manager, but here he is 6 years later, and here he is in a world title fight. That's better from Chagaev,
and doesn't look out of sorts, John, at this stage. That's where he's got to work, on the inside there. That will favour Skelton. He can't afford to be lazy. Keep working on the inside, Matt. That's what you've got to do.
The left hook is the danger punch from Chagaev. I'm sure quite a few of our viewers will have logged onto YouTube to see a little bit of what he's been capable of in the past, and you don't need to see too much to know that the left hook is the real danger shot. That's the one that Skelton has got to be aware of. He's got to find a way to negate it. Just waiting for Chagaev to commit himself. Skelton prepared at that stage to allow himself to be the counter-puncher.
Oh, that was a good left hand there from Chagaev. Super shot, well timed. 1-2, right down the middle. Good accurate shot there.
An impression that after a slow start, Chagaev may be just settling into the fight a little bit more effectively. A little bit of reddening around the right eye of Chagaev and on the cheekbone. That's good from Skelton. Left hand, right hand, and they both scored on the targets. Close round again. It's another good left hand, quality shot. Best punch of the round maybe, that one from Chagaev.
That's what he's got to watch for, Skelton, not to fall short with that right hand.
Well, good uppercut in there as well from Chagaev. This is the man from Uzbekistan's best round.
Mitsubishi Motors sponsors boxing on Setanta Sports.
Matthew Perry, Bradley Whitford.
Sorry about that, that one was all me.
Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip, out Monday.
Mitsubishi Motors sponsors boxing on Setanta Sports.
It's a rough, tough old fight. Skelton very much in there, but for me, Chagaev won that last round.
Yeah, I've got it even Steven now. Chagaev definitely won that last round. Started to catch him with some lovely 1-2s as well, John.
Referee Guillermo Perez is a little bit on Skelton's case, though. He was there in the corner, warning him again about dragging his man down onto punches.
Interesting what Kevin Sanders said in the corner there. So we've got to up the work rate now, and I would agree with that. He was waiting a little bit too long, Skelton, in that last round, and was getting caught. He's got to just up the work rate, double the jab, send the right hand home. Oh, lovely shot, Matt Skelton.
Skelton decried in some corners as a man who has no boxing skills, or very limited boxing skills. Agricultural, crude, you name it. Those descriptions have been used about him, but against a man who's a good technician, he is holding his own at this point. That's a good left hand from Chagaev. He's just starting to find his range with those straight left hands.
Okay, break.
Yeah, both opponents there catching each other. Look, Chagaev, he got caught there with a good right hand as he come in. Look, it's made him go back a little bit. Short little chopping right hand from Skelton.
I think he took great heart, confidence. He grew in confidence when he had that fight against. Oh, good shot, right hand, and the left. Good, powerful shots from Chagaev. But Skelton grew in confidence when he beat Danny Williams in that second contest.
And surprised everyone in the way he did it, remember, up on his toes, and no one had ever seen Matt Skelton do that before. And in a 12-round contest, John, you've got to be able to chop and change and adapt the right tactics and be prepared to box in close, maybe to go on the outside and go long. And this is what Skelton's doing. Now he's on the inside. But Chagaev, he's finding his range now with some good shots.
Some quality shots from Chagaev, but in volume of punches, Skelton probably matching him. It's a good body shot from Chagaev, the champion, remember. Shaping up to be a grueling fight, this one. Real test of strength, endurance, resilience.
Chagaev is actually starting to land with some good body shots. That left hook to the body. But Skelton, such a tough man.
Few hoots of derision from the German fans, because Skelton wants to have this fight in the proverbial telephone box, or at least in the days when there used to be telephone boxes.
Yeah, a couple of good left hands here though from Chagaev, John. Superb little shots over the top.
And again, good shot that one from Chagaev. And Skelton wants to lean on and hold in the seconds into the end of the round. Well, I gave that round to Chagaev.
No problem.
Fascinating contest. Took a while to work him out, didn't he?
Yeah, he's finding his range now, Chagaev. I've got him a point ahead.
Little mouse under that right eye.
What he's actually starting to do now, John, as well, he's starting to catch Matt Skelton. As he's coming in, he's finding shots over the top. He didn't in the earlier rounds, but a couple of good left hands there from Chagaev on the inside as Matt Skelton was coming to him. Just might see one coming up in a minute.
There's a lot of this. Skelton
there it is,
leaning on, but there's that left hand, Richie.
Yeah, there's that shot on the inside. And he landed with 2 or 3 of those in that round.
So you got Chagaev by a round, yeah?
I've got him 1 point up, yeah.
I've got Skelton by a round. Gave him the first 3. But Chagaev certainly has won the last couple. At least the way we're viewing it at ringside. 3 judges, remember, if it goes the distance. 2 Italians, 1 American. That's good from Skelton. Now that's what he needs, and you can hear the bellows of his ring men, his corner men saying, that's it, that's what we want, that's good.
Yeah, that's the tactic from Skelton. He's not allowing his man, giving him the room to move and to work.
So he's not got too much opportunity to land quality left hooks there, Chagaev, has he, when he's got 18 stone 2 of Matt Skelton leaning on him and right in his face.
That's right. At the end of the day, it's horses for courses, and if this is going to win the fight, then this is what he's got to do.
There's one good left hand from Chagaev there, but more punches from Skelton. There's a few boos and jeers from the crowd.
Well, I don't know what they're doing.
Doesn't need to worry about that.
You know, Skelton's not holding, he's working away. I don't know what they're doing at.
Well, perhaps because their man's not winning. Well, if there's another, what are we looking at? Another 6-7 rounds of this, that would be very much to Skelton's liking. Well, I'll tell you what, he's put Chagaev out of his rhythm a little bit again.
Definitely.
That's the first decent left hand he's landed.
Oh, that was a good shot from Chagaev then.
Caught him twice on the way in, first with the right hand, then with the left hook, and another little clubbing left in that clinch. Now Chagaev wanting to unload, trying to dictate terms. This is Chagaev's moment now. Skelton has to show his strength and take these, weather the storm, and come back throwing more of his own. Skelton trying to detonate those uppercuts. That's a good shot. There it was, the right, and a good body shot. Crowd thought it was low. The referee said no. Well, he's had a word with Skelton again. Maybe he was telling him he'd seen it, and maybe it was low.
He's just got to keep his hands up, John, when he's in on the inside also, you know. He's just dropping his hands now and again, and he's getting caught. Chagaev, he's a quality operator, this guy, and he finds a way and he finds the shot, so you've got to keep them hands up. Look, there it is again.
Mitsubishi Motors sponsors boxing on Setanta Sports.
My name's Dewey Cox.
From the guy who brought you Superbad.
You can take the children, but you leave me, my monkey.
Walk hard. Mitsubishi Motors sponsors boxing on Setanta Sports.
Fascinating fight though. We're at the halfway stage.
Ring frei Runde 7, round 7.
Richie's got Chagaev edging it. I've got Skelton edging it. It is in the melting pot. And I know very much that the Bedford contingent believed that their man was going to be the stronger, the fitter, and the further this fight went, the more it might go his direction. We will see.
Well, he took a couple of big shots in that round, Matt Skelton, in that last round.
Key was that he took him.
He took him exactly, and he came through. He came through the storm. He weathered it, and he's a very tough kid. He's got a great chin, and came back towards the end of the round.
Good left hand from Chagaev. You saw him work away out of that clinch and land a quality shot.
Oh, there was a lovely left uppercut from Skelton as well there, coming through.
Good fight. I mean, I know it's not footwork, but talk about desire, and there's work from Chagaev. Two big left hands, and Skelton there has to dig deep, and does so, takes them well. Granite chins.
Yeah, he's finding this shot over the top, isn't he? This left hand over the top as Skelton's coming in when they're in at close quarters. Skelton just dropping his right hand slightly, and Chagaev, he's coming across with that left hand. Got to keep that right hand up.
Skelton being told he's got to keep working, got to keep throwing punches when he's in close there. That's a good uppercut, that was quality. Right hand from Chagaev. A cuffing blow more than anything else, I think. Skelton caught a little bit off balance, and I don't think the punch was actually quite as effective as it looked.
Yeah, lovely little 1-2 and a left uppercut through the guard again from Skelton. He's getting through with that shot.
Chagaev, remember, never beaten. Skelton only with the one defeat on his record.
Oh, that was a good shot as well from Skelton. Right uppercut on the inside, bang on the button.
He knows that this is his defining moment, Matt Skelton. If he produces the performance of his life, this is about dreams come true. He's getting a six-figure purse for this, maybe about what Cristiano Ronaldo earns in a week. But if he wins it, it's the key to the jackpot.
Well, that's it in a nutshell, you know. Forget about the money. This is about passion and winning this title. And I'll tell you what, John, if you say to him, well, you've got the heavyweight title coming up, but there's no money in it for you, he has still fought tonight for nothing because he wants to be heavyweight champion of the world. That's how much it will mean to him.
If he were to prevail tonight, I think there'd be a few tears of happiness from his fans and the jeers of the crowd again going up. This because I think they see Skelton holding on a little bit and bullying Chagaev around, and it is frankly just not the fight that they expected. Not panning out the way that the Uzbekistan and German corner believed it would.
I think Chagaev, he's really having his work cut out here. I think Skelton's doing excellent. He really is, especially on the inside. He's catching Chagaev with some great shots, especially with that left uppercut. He's got to keep it going. He's got to wear this guy down. He also caught Chagaev with a couple of good right uppercuts to the body. That will slow him up. And this is a tough fight for Chagaev.
I know one or two people who had a look at those 5-1, 6-1 odds that Skelton was commanding and thought in the two-horse race. It's not that bad a bet. And those people who had that bet, okay, it's a chance, it's a speculative one, but their man is still really in there pitching. A Bedford voice bellows out from the gods. Come on, Matt, heavyweight champion of the world. Only one version of it, of course. But if he were to win it, unification matches could beckon.
It's going to be interesting to see how the judges are seeing this. Are they going to favour Skelton because he keeps coming forward, and or they're going to go for Chagaev, who's landing with some better, cleaner punches?
I think there's a real danger that the referee is going to take a point off him if he continues to drag his man down. Yeah, exchanges like this. Now, who's winning at this point? House is so subjective, difficult to form a verdict.
You know, and John, you have an American judge in there, and they like guys coming forward.
They do. Italians, as Reg Guttridge once memorably observed, have always been pretty good on the retreat, so maybe the Italian judges would like the other way.
Maybe. But he's just got to keep going now, Matt Skelton. This is the type of fight he wants and needs to beat this fella. On the inside, working the body also, but at close quarters is where he's going to have his success.
Well, Chagaev has just not worked him out, has he? Even if the points are going his way, and who knows, maybe they are, he's finding it a tough, rough old night in there.
Yeah, I think he's struggling as well with the size of Skelton. A couple of good shots there from Chagaev.
And yet he didn't struggle with Valuev, but the thing is, Valuev, I suppose, is more robotic, more predictable, more orthodox, if you like.
Well, Valuev didn't fight the type of fight, though, either, John, did he, against him? There you go, Matt. Good, that's good work.
There's a lot of cheers from the Bedford contingent, mirroring that of the hoots and jeers of the local fans. This is reaching the point of the fight when endurance will tell. This is going to be not just about skill, this is about fitness, preparation, and above all, maybe, desire.
Desire and self-belief. Beating him to the jab there, Skelton.
Yeah, just pawing Chagaev. That's one decent shot, getting the applause of the fans at ringside, but it's one from Chagaev. Now then, he's taking the point away for holding on. He warned him again and again, and I'm afraid to say, despite the boos of Skelton's fans, he had that coming.
Yeah, he did, shame, but how do we score that round, John? Because I thought Chagaev did enough to win it anyway.
Well, in that case, you've got it to 10-8. If you've scored that to Chagaev, that's 10-8. Well, how important might that deduction of a point be? Remember all those years ago when Mike McCallum fought Harold Graham? Harold Graham had a point deducted. If he hadn't had that point deducted, he'd have beaten McCallum when he was at his prime.
And what a win that would have been, because that McCallum was someone else, wasn't he? The body snatcher.
Just a bit. Well,
good.
Chagaev landed one or two quality shots, didn't he? The uppercut was good.
Great shot.
What's you got it on points now, Richie? Who have you got ahead?
Well, you know, if I give that round to Chagaev anyway, and if you say then it's a 10-8 round, I've got it by 3 now to Chagaev.
Chagaev mainly, maybe. I've got it a lot closer than that. Good uppercut, good shot from Skelton, good right hand. And he's trying to really dig deep and up his work rate here.
Oh, that's better from Skelton. That was a cracking little right uppercut. Just gets caught
into one.
Yeah.
Trying to work the jab, Skelton.
Now that may be the tactic now from Skelton. He was catching Chagaev with a couple of good jabs, and then he caught Chagaev as he actually came in with a right hand. Good skillful work on the inside there from Chagaev. He's actually landing shots, and then he's rolling from inside to out, outside to in.
But still, Skelton refuses to give ground. Still, he bravely tries to force the pace.
Good head movement from Chagaev. But Skelton, you have to say, he's relentless.
Getting to the stage of the fight now where they will cast caution to the wind. Last 2 or 3 rounds is going to be fascinating here. It might be that this is going to be decided on the last 3 rounds.
Okay, no problem.
Interesting choice of referee, Guillermo Perez, who doesn't speak a word of English, and as far as I'm aware, doesn't speak a word of Russian either.
Chagaev just got his left hand caught there as he was going to throw a left uppercut.
Very, very warm here at ringside tonight. Drainingly so.
Okay.
We're just sitting here in jacket and tie at ringside, and it's one of those temperatures where you'd quite happily sit in shirt sleeves. Good work from Chagaev in the closing seconds of the round. And that flurry of punches might have been enough to give him it on the judges' cards, maybe, but Skelton again landed the more.
His mouth is wide open. He is bollocks, okay? Right. You hear me? You're looking good. You're getting strong. Spin onto there. Okay, now look. All you've got to do, watch this left hand round the back of his head, okay? Right. Can't do that. Open your mouth. Turn that way, Andy. That's okay. Okay, listen to me now. Concentration. Keep pushing.
Well, here's some of the work in the round just past, the 9th. And I really do think, Richie, that so many of these rounds are close. Chagaev doing well there, but you've got to remember this is a German editorial director who's calling these shots, and he certainly had his moments at Skelton in that round, and you could argue that he won it.
Could have gone either way that round.
Okay, why not? But
if somebody told me here Skelton's ahead on the cards, I wouldn't necessarily argue. I think a lot of the rounds have been very close. But it is in Germany, and that might be the key. Good left hand from Chagaev.
And if Chagaev now is going to start to come forward, this might suit Skelton. He's got to time this right hand to perfection now and throw it as the guy comes in, get the timing right, straight down the middle, a straight hand shot.
Here's Chagaev, big attack from the man from Uzbekistan, from the champion. Skelton being forced to cover up on the ropes for just about the first time. Now we see Chagaev the aggressor, but Skelton soaked it up and then worked his way back off the ropes well.
Did well there, Skelton. He was in such a negative position on just above us on the ropes, but came out of it good, and now he's on the attack, pushing his man back. Chagaev there caught him with some good shots, and they seem to hurt Skelton momentarily, but he recovered, he's come back.
Okay.
Tremendous show of determination from Matt Skelton.
Okay. No.
And I think Kevin Sanders, he's really shouting at Skelton because he believes that Chagaev has got a stamina problem in the later rounds of a 12-rounder, so now we should see Skelton hopefully up the pace a little bit.
He was spelling that out pretty clearly between rounds, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Okay.
He seems to be tolerant now, Skelton. He's got to come through this.
Chance got for Chagaev. This is the home crowd now getting behind their man. Based in Hamburg, remember, Ruslan Chagaev. Born in Uzbekistan of Russian parents, but he's very much a German hero now.
Okay.
Skelton's right eye starting to bruise and close a little bit. He's taken a lot of shots there. That left hand, it's good from Skelton, stepping aside.
He actually let him off the ropes there, John. It wasn't such a good move, to be quite honest. Should have tried, keep your man on the ropes there. It's a bad position for Chagaev to be in, back on the ropes. It just limits and restricts his movement.
Referee again parting them, trying to keep the action at range.
No.
Skelton took another big left hand, felt that one, gave that round to Chagaev. 6 minutes to go. Ruslan Chagaev in the first defence of his WBA title. Michael Tim, his trainer. You can see the lines of worry across his brow. They know that he can't afford to make a mistake. He's got to win these last 2 rounds to be sure.
Well, they know he's in a hell of a tough fight here. Skelton's applying the right tactics, trying to keep the fight as close as possible, close quarters. He's getting caught with the better shots on the inside. A couple of shots here. There's that left hand.
Segunda fuera. Please. Atrás.
2 rounds remaining. We're into the 11th.
Okay.
Matt Skelton, remember, has never been stopped. Nor Ruslan Chagaev. A few Skelton chants coming up from the bleachers. I sometimes wonder, when you're in there, Richie, are you aware of that? Do you hear it? Skelton looks tired, incidentally, now.
Yeah, and he needs the crowd. He needs the crowd chanting his name and to lift him a little bit. Yeah, you do hear it, John. It can be the difference.
He's given it a tremendous effort, as Matt Skelton. But has Chagaev finally worn him down with better shots like that? As Skelton is tired now, he's no longer forcing the pace as he was earlier in the fight.
Okay.
And absolutely key how some of those earlier rounds were scored when Skelton was really in Chagaev's face. Will the judges have given him those rounds?
Nice little right hand there from Skelton.
That point deducted in the 8th could be a key into the scoring.
No. No.
Corner imploring him to step aside and step round him and land hooks.
No.
Skelton just fighting on instinct now.
He's catching him on the inside, isn't he, with that right uppercut?
He's had a lot of success inside.
Yeah.
The uppercuts have been good. Crowd haven't liked it. Close quarter contests don't always make great viewing when you're 40 or 50 yards away. There's a hand around the back of the head. Skelton's got to be careful of that.
Got caught with a good left, but he delivered a right hand himself there, Skelton.
Break.
Tough fight. Hard fight.
Little left uppercut again from Skelton after a 1-2 combo.
Okay.
Don't hold. He's on dangerous territory again. Already he's lost 1 point for that.
That's better, Matt. You've got to pop that jab out. Catching with the right hand as he's coming in. Little uppercut downstairs. I mean, Chagaev has hardly thrown a punch in these last 30 seconds.
Yeah. And Matt Skelton's made nonsense of suggestions in our studio as well as elsewhere that he had no chance. He's really given a good fight, a good account of himself. And if he is to lose this fight, Matt Skelton, what a battle he's made it.
This is your last round, okay? And what you've done, you've allowed him to come back. What I want you to do now, Matt, is go out there, don't wait for nothing. 3 minutes of hard work. Okay. And then put your hands up. You got a war. Okay, you have done supremely well. The best you have ever boxed. You hear me? Now let's just go out here and let's show what you do.
Nice to hear that sort of encouragement coming for a fighter. I think positive sometimes very much outworks negative in motivation in any sport.
Well, I think it is the best he's boxed, to be quite honest, because of the opponent he's up against. He's up against the heavyweight champion of the world at the end of the day, and I think he's done exceptionally well. I've got it by 2 now to Chagaev, but it could be a lot closer, John, as you've said. It's just how the judges have seen it.
Well, maybe I've got a bit of a Skelton eye on this and a Skelton bias, but it could be closer than you've got it, Richie. That's all I'd say. Who knows? It might all be down to this last round.
Listen, if you've got 3 judges that prefer boxers to go forward, then it is closer than my scorecard.
Well, while you're talking there, I went back and I've got it dead level. Dead level. Having said that, now we'll probably see Chagaev win it by 6, but Skelton has given a great account of himself, and irrespective of how the judges' cards finally come up here, what a display of bravery. Not the sweet science, but for sheer determination, you cannot but admire it. Who is going to have the more in the last 2 minutes here? Chagaev landing the heavier shots at this point. You can see Skelton really breathing heavily and having to take a lot of shots as he tries to tee off uppercuts of his own.
Well, I think Chagaev also thinks it's close because he's working away. He's trying to work hard.
Oh, good shots.
Yeah, if he thought he had it in the bag, John, he'd be on his bike and keeping it long and staying out of the way, but no, he's prepared to go to work. Oh, good shot from Chagaev, that was to the body.
And a good uppercut from Skelton. The 2 of them landed really big bombs there, and you heard the shriek from Chagaev, as much as to say, whoa, we both put him in there. Chagaev, a big last round here. He's won the first half of it. This is champion's resolve.
He's just boxing on instinct now, Matt
Good uppercut from Chagaev. Skelton wobbled by that one, big right hand. It was the right uppercut that did the damage, and Skelton is just about all in there. Can he now find from somewhere enough to mount one final attack? He's given everything. But Ruslan Chagaev, for me, is winning this final round. Oh, that's a good shot from Skelton. Ruslan, the chance of the locals. Skelton, the chance of the travelling fans.
Chagaev just finding that extra bit of quality in this round, but Skelton's still going. I'll take my hat off to him, I really do. Tough lad. Give it absolutely everything tonight, Matt Skelton.
Chagaev then finishing the aggressor in this final round. Big left hand, and he's won this last round, Ruslan Chagaev. Skelton has battled so very, very hard, but has he finally been found wanting at the final hurdle, the last round, going to the champion? He celebrates, the 2 congratulate each other, and what a battle that turned out to be. There's Skelton's fans, and they think they've done it. Kevin Sanders, I'm sure, is saying to him, whatever the result, you have fought the fight of your life.
Yeah, he has done. He has fought the fight of his life. Boxed superbly well. I think got the tactics right on the inside. It was a rough, tough fight for him.
Stand tall.
And Kevin
Well, I hope they
Sanders
give these scores in English as well, because my German not too good. I've got a gentleman next to me who's working for Reuters, who thankfully speaks German, and so he's going to keep me right up to speed with what's going on here. It's going down to the cards. Anxious moments always for both fighters. I wonder if Skelton thinks he's done enough. Chagaev is up on the ropes, waving to his fans. He thinks he's got it. We will hear interviews in the ring, I gather, done in English by Aris Donelli for our German television colleagues. Chagaev will be done in German, but once we hear from Matt Skelton...
Okay, get out, come on.
Get your hands up, Matt, come on, mate.
Right, here comes Matt Skelton now, waving to his fans. Comes out of it with a lot of pride, does Matt Skelton, whatever the verdict. Klaus-Peter Cole, the promoter, congratulates him. Here's some of the action from that last round, which Chagaev, for me, dominated.
Yeah, he won the last round. Skelton had literally give it everything. There was a lovely sneaky right hand there from Skelton. Good Chagaev as he's coming in. But generally in that last round, good uppercut there from Chagaev, the champion. And I think he's still holding on to his title here.
It was a voluntary defence, and Chagaev, has he kept on to his crown? It was the big gamble for Matt Skelton, the final throw of the dice maybe in an unlikely career. I talk about Cinderella champions, about James J. Braddock. If Matt Skelton had somehow done it, well, it would have been an extraordinary story. Has he done it? There's Simon Block, the Secretary of the British Boxing Board of Control, congratulating Chagaev. And there's the gloves being cut off Matt Skelton. Bit of, I don't think that's blood, I think that's the colouring from the gloves which is on the binding there. Big-hearted performance from Skelton.
Oh, tough man. Yeah, gave it everything. And those early rounds, John, I mean, he just kept coming forward. And as we've said, some judges prefer that.
His 86-year-old mum says she wishes he'd go out and get himself a proper job. I don't doubt that she'll be watching at home somewhere and just wondering whether the job she doesn't really approve of is going to make the son world heavyweight champion. We will see.
Well, he's done a proper job tonight, because this is, I think, a fairly close fight. I've got it by 3 for Chagaev.
Thank you. I've got it Chagaev by 1 on my card on that last round. But remember, it's in Germany, and it may well be wider. Who knows? Remember Sven Ocker and Robin Reed, when Robin Reed seems to be losing rounds and incurring the displeasure of the referee for landing punches. At least we didn't have that sort of nonsense tonight. The referee, for the most part, did a pretty good job, let the action flow, such as it was, and Skelton was given every opportunity. Looks as though Chagaev thinks he's got it. Maybe they've had word. He certainly, there's a few smiles there, aren't there? He certainly thinks he's got it.
Yeah. Well, it certainly seems a confident camp, doesn't it? People around him, all smiling.
We will, in just a second or two, he's ushering people out of the way so the cameras can see, is the Master of Ceremonies. And here comes the verdict.
Das offizielle Urteil. Wir haben eine einstimmige Punktentscheidung.
It's a unanimous decision.
Aus den USA wertete 117 zu 110.
117, 110.
117 zu 111. Und Punktrichter Poppy aus Italien 117 zu 111 zugunsten von und damit alter und neuer WBA
117 to 111, and Chagaev has got it.
Ruslan Chagaev.
They've given it by margins of 6 rounds and 7 rounds, which I